I would think through the first thing that you need to find, if this is where your dream is taking you, is find your clarity on your why, your personal clarity. Not everyone else's, not what people think you should do, but your compelling why. Not only is social enterprise a space where it's about helping people, what the attachment to that is, you can feel guilty in a lot of the spaces you live in because there's so many people to reach, so many people to help. And so your compelling clarity gives you a guilt-free no. And if anyone can learn this early, because I talk to a lot of older CEOs, if they could have only learned this, in their 20s or in their teens, clarity gives me a guilt-free no. There's so many ventures that they would have never felt that they needed to embark on. So in social enterprise, there's so many feelings and passions that are in the room that if you get your clarity, you have a guilt-free no. So that you're called to keep the main thing the main thing. And like I said before, simplifying to multiply means that if you're passionate about this one thing, then when all the other offers come of you should do this and you shouldn't do that and you should move this way and you should start this kind of work and go to that region and whatever, you're making decisions with intention and clarity of thought rather than guilt. And I really need to speak that into people as they build what you call a social enterprise, because you don't want to be guilt-driven when building something intentional, because then your decisions aren't your own. We're all on a journey of continual learning of clarity. No one gets it right the first time, and we're all still on our journey. But it's the ability to know that I'm saying something because I'm compelled by my passion, rather than I'm doing it because I feel I should do it, or I'm doing this organization because I watched this movie, or I saw this screenshot and everyone said, oh, I think you'll be good at it. Really, clarity is more about decluttering than it is about finding it. You find your clarity when you learn how to say no well. And so you might not have it fully, but at least you're on the journey of saying, what I'm doing is intentional and I'm compelled by what I see and my passion to do it. I would definitely say, go and volunteer, intern, do something. Proximity is power. So if you have a dream in your heart to help this group of people or start a style of social enterprise, go and Google, go and find out, be bold enough and humble enough to go and email the director or the CEO or the manager, whoever it might be, and just say, can I come and meet with you? And say, I just want half an hour of your time, I'll buy you a coffee. Like, I just want in, and I remember, having so many of those conversations and asking people that inspired me, would you give me half an hour of your time? And in that half an hour, so many great relationships started. So many opportunities came out of the idea that I had to be humble enough and bold enough to say, I'm learning. Like, I need to learn more and be in the room, be there, do whatever you can. Because there's two kinds of people you want to have in your world, right? People that love you and people that are better than you. They're the two kinds of people that you want to take advice from, people that you want in your environment, and that's people that love you and are better than you. The people that love you are going to be there to cheerlead you and your dream the whole way. They're not really going to ask you very hard questions. They just think you're the best, and they're going to go, I believe in you and love you, and I can see what you want to do. The people that are better than you are going to ask those questions and say, how can we do this better? Have you asked yourself this? And so sometimes they're the same person. Sometimes it's a person that can love you and they're better than you. But in a lot of cases, you want to be able to go and look at your circle of influence and go, who loves me? Because on bad days, you need them, right? But when you're building, you also need people that are better than you in the room and that you can go to. And you actually have relationships like that by going out of your way and asking to meet with people that are further in the journey than you and being humble enough to say, can you teach me? Always be in the posture of being a student. I would say that people that have a better perspective. So when I'm looking at who I would consider better than me, I'm looking across the scale. It's not just people that are further, but it's also people that are on the ground. What are they experiencing? They're seeing things that I'm not. So I need to learn from them and put them in the room and say, can you teach me the social impact that we're having? How sustainable is it really? What's the feedback on that? And so I think we always need to be looking for a better perspective. We always have to be curious. And that isn't just about older or more qualified. It's about their perspective and what they're actually doing. And I would then say, finally, if I looked at building an organization, Jim Collins says, shoot bullets before cannonballs. Trial things before you announce it to the world or put it on social media. I'm starting this thing and it's going to do this, 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 and this. Trial it. Test and adjust. Be the quantity ceramics class. Trial things. Do it with your friends. Look at the message you're sending, the story that you're telling. And for any social enterprise, they need a compelling narrative. Tell that story in a way that you can reach different markets, different demographics, but do it in small bursts. So then you tweak your message to the point that when you release everything in its bigness and its fullness, that you shot bullets before cannonballs. That you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. You've tested and adjusted. You've been able to learn from the feedback that you got. And in that, then you actually, and we all want speed because we're all passionate and we want to move as fast as we can. By learning in the little things, we actually make the big thing better, and it gives it better momentum. Because there's no point just being fast and then realizing everything we've done, we have to change constantly. It's, I want to shoot the little things, I want to do the little things well, because that builds the momentum for the big things and the bigger buy-in. And that's the compelling narrative. I want to be able to trial, test, adjust, learn from mistakes, because by the time I tell the story, it'll be compelling.